Hi, I'm Randy Robison. Welcome to Life Today Digital Edition. I'm here with Phil Robertson. You know him, Duck Dynasty. He's got a new book called The Theft of America's Soul. Good to have you.
Hey, good to be here.
So this is pretty in-depth, kind of thoughtful kind of book. It's not, it's not hunting. It's not, your light kind of reality TV fare. This is serious.
You know, if you start reading through the texts, everything from the God of heaven to Satan to the truth that sets you free, and you just start down the list, it is scary on how relevant something written in such a low-tech world 2,000 years ago, you can just take it and pull it right over into modern day and it fits like a glove. You start reading some of these texts, like that Romans 1, since they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, God gives them over to a depraved mind to do what ought not to be done. And the list there is a horrific description of human beings ending up with they're senseless, faithless, heartless, and ruthless. So I looked out at our culture and I saw all the murders and all the lies and what the evil one is doing working in and through people. And I said, at least I need to put my 2 cents worth in and warn the people and kind of motivate the church to, I call it autonomous Christianity, where we think all of worship entails just driving to a church building and driving home. No one will ever even know who you are if that's all you do.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get them to think broader, that offer themselves all the time, 24/7.
Our culture well, many in our culture at least, say that, hey, the whole God thing, religion thing, if you want to do that, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
You just need to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You just need to shut up and, that's your thing, but don't push it on us.
It's a lack of sound thinking, because if you think about it, life and immortality is on the table here.
Yeah.
When you are talking Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
you said life and immortality. And you say, do you have a better story that could give you removal of your sin, the Spirit of the living God, and immortality, resurrection from the dead? Why would you take that so lightly? You have physical death coming up. It's a fact. Hospital and doctors and the medical profession can give you a little temporary reprieve, but Jesus gives you eternal health care, and the kicker is, it is free.
It is free, yeah.
It's the only free health care I know of.
You do address a lot of social issues. You mentioned healthcare. It's kind of the political football these days.
Yeah.
Where would you even like to see us go politically in our leadership and the direction of this country?
If I were human beings, I would do what I just said. Probably for 40 years, we had no health care. When I was a boy and I was raised my entire early life, but no one had any health care insurance, not in our neck of the woods. Yeah. Zero. I might have taken, other than worm tablets once a year, all the children would get wormed, but little pinworms. Well, they'd give you some pills. That's the only pills I took for the next 20 years. I never took anything else of any kind. So we just didn't use medicine. Therefore, they all had their children at home, but they started going to a clinic. But the bottom line is, you say, it's way, way overrated. Temporary reprieve at best, you say, but as far as delivering you for any great length of time, it's not worth the money. So we didn't have any health care for 40 years. I told my wife, she said, are we ever going to get any insurance? And I said, when you have plenty of money, buy all you want. So now she has health care insurance, but we're more into eternal health care.
You've been hitting the pavement, doing the radio, doing television.
Yep.
Not just, promoting a book, although you are promoting a book. You're trying to get across a message. You're trying to kind of preach the gospel to everybody.
That's right.
Why have you decided that's the direction you want to go? You could stay home and probably have a lot more relaxing time.
I was a heathen for 28 years. Once I investigated Jesus, the Son of God, and heard that he had removed my sin, all of them, and I could be raised from the dead, constant mediating work. All I had to do was love him and love my neighbor. When I got on board with Jesus, I noticed something. For some reason, I was driven to preach the gospel. I was wide open when I was a sinner and dead in my sins. I was wide open with Satan. When I made the turn, I went wide open for the Lord. So as far as other than the marching orders, go make disciples of all nations and baptize them, no audible voice, I wasn't told, get up and do that. I'm just driven to do it. And I'm now 72. You say, looks like you're going out, still preaching it.
Still going hard.
So why I'm driven to do it, I'm not sure why. I love my fellow man. I love him dearly. And I just feel for him because there's so much death and destruction and ungodliness going on in the world. So I just said, I'm just going to try to help it, do the best I can.
Well, good for you. Sometimes you get in a little trouble for speaking what you believe is the truth.
Yep.
How important is it for us to say there is something called truth, and we need to figure out what it is?
If you're being cursed for just talking about loving God and loving each other, if you're catching a cursing from that, there's something to it. Why would they care?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You say, why would they care if you were hollering about Jesus? You say, it's organized resistance, organized, powerful, that rises up against us every time we open our mouth. You read text and it gives you a list of sins. You read the list of sins to people and they curse you for reading the list of sins.
That's right.
I'm like, this is 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
This is old writings. What are you doing hollering at me? I'm just
letting you know, right?
Just letting you know. So I'm giving you the bad news. This is it.
Yeah.
But there's good news if you'll just sit tight.
And that's right. And I think that's important. I appreciate you bringing the good news. You can check out the good news that is in the book. You can see that with theftofamericasoul.com.
Yep.
Website.
Theftofamericasoul.com.
And
if I used a computer, I would know that, see?
But you don't. You told me that.
I don't.
Never use a cell phone?
Never had one.
Never owned one?
No.
Never. You don't go online? You don't have Netflix and Hulu and a Facebook page? I guess you probably have them, but someone else runs it.
Yeah, somebody else. Every once in a while, they'll put me on, like Facebook. And I have a page, they say. And I said, really? They said, yeah. I'm like, but I never listen to it, click on to it, so I have no idea what goes on there.
Which means you don't care about how many followers you have or how many likes you get. You just do what you feel like you're supposed to do.
I just want people to follow Jesus. That to me is the name of the game.
That's a good message. You can hear more from this gentleman when he's on the Life Today broadcast program. Check it out. That's available at lifetoday.org. Hey, thanks for watching. Please share this video, follow us on social media, and subscribe to this channel.